All right, all right. Good afternoon, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Here we are once again, um, trying to tune in. Hour of Power, baby. I told you guys that I would come on and see that how are our Savage talks doing. Today it seems like there was a lot of opportunity, and I'm just trying to make sure that we took advantage of that, right? So I believe SMCI gave us a lot of opportunity today. I definitely went in and I took advantage of SMCI. I did some cash secure puts, and I was able to use that capital so that I can write more cash secure puts on other stocks. And then I did another cash secure put. So I closed some GME cash secure puts that were 40 to 50% already drained. And I was able to use that capital to then do SMCI cash secure puts. Things are good, man. Things are good. We're back on for the hour of power, like I said. Welcome, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. I am the Savage of Wall Street. Yet again, like I said, for Hour of Power, I will return, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes. Here we are. All right, who we got here? We got Tom saying, here for a comment and a like, gotta run. All right, brother, see you later. Have a great day. Hector saying HOP. I don't know what that means. IHOP, hip hop. I'm not sure. Kent's mom is saying, "What's up, Savage? How you doing, Kent's mom? Good to see you're here." Jeff Glass is saying, "Back again." Yes, we are. All right. So, Hector is saying, "Hour of Power." HOP. Duh, dude. My bad. All right. Let's get this back some. I like that much better. Yes, like I said, I was feeling bullish today as far as how I'm gonna approach the market, and I did. I did an SMCI $45 cash secure put expiring March, and I brought in a nice chunk of change. Um, Now, was I the high of the day? Actually, let me double check. I did a Soundhound cash secure put, and then a TerraWolf cash secure put. So, oh look, Super Micro is already recovering. It was down like 21, 22% when I wrote my cash secure put. I went out to March just because it's only 9 months, right? It's only 9 months, and it was just too juicy not to write that cash secure put. I think I got over almost $100 per month, and I like that. Basically $100 a month that's going to bleed out. Worst case scenario, I get put those shares, and great, because it's a stock I want anyways. So here we go. I think I got 862 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, but it was good. It was good. Let's see here. Anyways, what are you guys working on? What did you guys do? Any cash secure puts? Any cover calls? I'm very curious to see what you guys, how you guys went about today. Yes, it was a March 2026 for $855. So I basically got $855 per share. $40.5 cash secure put. Like I said, I went in the money. I could have gone to 40, but I honestly, I want the shares, right? So they're giving me damn near $1 for every month of waiting. I will take that all day, every day. Not a problem. I also did a $10 cash secure put on Sound, expiring January 2026. And I got $2.08 per share, which is $280. That's almost 21% on my return on investment. What bank is going to give me that? And then I used that capital to sell a Wolf. I think I've written a couple already, but today I was I think it was the first one sold of the day. But anyways, $5 strike expiring January 2026. and it triggered for 116. So again, notice how I'm getting at least 20% back on my investment, right? For every one of those. And it's compounding, right? So like I do a cash secure put, I take the money, I may have a couple of dollars here and there, or I may close out some position. But anyways, I do another cash secure put with that money, and then I do another cash secure put with that money. So that's just the name of the game. And the portfolio keeps expanding, right? More premium, more premium. And then if I close them out, in the next 3 months, 4 months, I'll make sure that I close them out at least for like 50 or 60% profit. And that's how you play this game, guys. So, it was a good day for me. I made a couple of dollars, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to be consistent. I just like taking advantage of the opportunity the markets give me, right? Nobody knows what the stocks are going to do. Nobody knows what the market's going to look like, but we do know what the stocks are telling us right then and there. So could I have waited to write that cash secure put on SMCI? I could have, right? But I didn't want to. I saw, I think it's oversold at this point. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction. We know what SMCI can do. And, receiving almost $9 for a $45 cash secure put, I'm buying it pretty much almost at $36 a share. I'm totally okay with that. I am totally okay with that. So, that decision is something that I'm okay with. I made money. The whole point of the stock market is what? To make money. And I was able to use that capital to write other cash secure puts and then so on and so forth. Worst case scenario, I end up with all those shares. I wanted them anyways. Not a problem. And that's how we roll. Kent's mom is in the house. Hector is here. Jeff Glass is here. Jeff Glass is saying, thinking my lunar cash secure puts are going to get crushed. Earnings pre-market tomorrow. Stock has been dropping all day. Well, you know what? Worst case scenario, you get the shares, right? So if it's a stock that you wanted, there's not a problem. Also, I don't know when those expire, but you still have so much time. Anything can happen between now and whenever, right? Sometimes things happen within a day. So this is another reason why I like writing leaps, right? And selling cash secure puts out, 3-4 months or more, doing covered calls out, to a year sometimes, because it protects you. You get a big chunk of change, and it also protects you from downturns, right? And if the market goes against you and it goes up rather quickly, it protects you because you have so much time that can happen between now and then, that the stock dips really hard. Look at what happened with Unity, right? Look at what happened at SMCI. Some people wrote covered calls, a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, for SMCI and Unity, and they brought in big chunks, and today they're buying them back, and they're making money. And that's how you make money. I wrote some 45s and 50s, and I have not bought them back yet, because honestly, I'm okay with those calls being taken away. I'll look at them in 2026 and then see what happens. Gotta be okay with your decisions, and there's no means to the madness, I assure you. Double D saying, live again, nice break to the day. An hour of power, baby. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make some money. Like I said, I talked about my cash secure puts, maybe gave you guys some ideas. Sometimes things happen before the market closes, so we're here. Ray Sherlock saying, sound earnings tomorrow. I know that. So that's why I'm taking advantage of those that IV right now. Because even if Sound was to have a bad, earnings, right? Well, it goes down to 8, 9. I'm protected up to that point. So I'm totally okay with that. And worst case scenario is $8 in January. I can always roll, and I bring in more money. So I don't have a problem with that at all. So that's the name of the game. Jeff Glass is saying, my $11 Sound cash secure puts that expire next Friday aren't looking great. Need a good earnings report. Or you can roll. They expire next Friday. I personally will take advantage of the IV, and I would roll those 11s to maybe 10s in January, and bring in $100 from your collateral, and try to bring in some premium as well. That's how I would play that. There's no shame in my game. You do 10 of those, that's $1,000 you're bringing in a premium you can use for something else, or you could do nothing and see how it pans out. It all depends on what you want to do. You got to have a plan. Uh, so Ken's Moms has a question. I have a Rocket Lab covered call that I had to roll out to December 50s when it ran. Would you start rolling down and closer, or just leave it for now? Rocket Lab's at 44.30 now. So you have to December, right? There's so much time between then and now. I mean, if you're going to roll in, are you okay selling it at 40? Because that would be the next logical roll. 45s or 40s come down to August or September, October. But I mean, you're giving up $1,000 if you were to roll from 5 to 40s, 50 to 40. So I think Rocket Lab's going to recover. It's just the market. It's down right now. But I mean, this is when opportunity happens, right? So it's all on what you want to do. Are you okay selling for instead of 5,000, 4,000, and bringing in a couple of dollars of premium? Honestly, I have some AI unities and so on down to 2027, and they bled out a lot at this point. But I mean, there's so much time between now and then. I'm waiting for 2026 in January, February, or March. I'll see where they're at, and I can make my decision then. I personally would wait on Rocket Lab, especially if it's 50s, because Rocket Lab could recover in a week and be at 50, 55, right? So, yeah, I mean, you're honestly only $5 out the money. Do you need the cash? I mean, if you were looking for a cash grab, I guess, but right now it's just, I cross my arms. There's so much time between now and then. I totally would cross my arms. Double D saying, I wrote on a lot of what you talked about last night. I'm up on most already. Good, great. See, that's the name of the game. So it's just sometimes we're up, the next day. Sometimes we're down. But if we choose strikes that are out 2-3 months down the line, it really doesn't matter, because I write out of the money so that it's all time value, right? I wrote some cover calls that were, $45, $55 out to, a year out. And the stock is at like 43, 44. So like it's still out of the money, right? And it's all time value. So at that point, it's just going to decay. And as time shrinks, so does that covered call, the value of it. And that's why I like to capitalize on, especially on down days when the stock drops like, 20% in one day, 15% in one day, because you really could say, for example, you wrote a $50 covered call, right? And you receive $5 for it, or $10. And then the stock drops 20% in one day. And then you're automatically up 25, 30% in a week, or around there. You would have to wait, let's say a year for the rest of the 70%, or you could just close out right then and there, take 30%, and then just come down to a lower strike, sell another one out to the same strike date, and bring in more cash that way. You could do that as well, or you could just wait for the stock to recover, have a day where it goes up 5 to 10% in a day, and then write cover calls again. You could choose the same strike date and the same strike. It depends on what your comfort level is, right? We Commanders in the house saying, Savage, what up, Tobin? How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're making money today. I think you're doing cash secure puts on SMCI, if I'm not mistaken. And if you haven't, Man, look at those. Those are juicy. I'm already up on the ones that I wrote. VJ Rever saying wrote some credit spreads on QQQ. He cut up with me today, rolled it. Notice you don't trade QQQ much. I trade the SQQQ um, just because I am a bear, right? But I'll be honest with you. I've been buying calls. I've been buying September 19 SQQQs and kind of shorting the QQQs, and it's wonderful for me right now. So no, it's not actually. The QQQ is up, so I'm down on these, but that's okay. I have some $20 SQQQ calls that are down right now at 40%. Um, you know what? I have to make a decision. Do I want to pull the plug and lose the money? Which it's okay. Sometimes you have to take a loss. It's not all about wins, guys. Or, I have so much time between now and September 19th that I think if the SQQQ $20 calls get down to like $50, 50 cents, I may just buy five of them and average down. Um, and then see what happens between now and September 19th. There's just so much time, right? 6 weeks that anything can happen. And so I think the QQQ is frothy, man. I think it's gonna show its weakness really quickly. And my SQQQs are leveraged. So we'll see what happens. At this point, I'm definitely getting my butt kicked on these SQQQ calls, but that's the name of the game. I mean, it's just insurance, right? So let's say, for example, the QQQ dips hard, like 5% one day, right? These are going to be massively up on that day, and I'll make money. But my holdings will not because they will be down. So that's the way that you hedge. It's just a little insurance. That's the way that I see it. All right, so here we go. Wing Commander saying SMCI when it was around 45, Unity when we hit the low of the day. That data center thing you mentioned, Wolf, ACHR, good. There it is. I think those are good rights, man. 2 January 26 catch your puts on Unity and got $5 for each. Beautiful. Oh, those are beautiful. $26. You're basically buying it at 21. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. For putting your money away for a few months, man. That's a beautiful right. You're getting almost $1 for every month. I like it. All right, guys. I have to get going now. Uh, Thank you for tuning in. I know this was a quick one, but the market's almost closed, and I also have to go get the little one from school. So it's been grand. But I did say I was going to come in for a few minutes. We're at minute almost 20 at this point. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow at like around 8:30 in the morning again. I can't wait. I think we're going to have a great day tomorrow. Let's see what this market gives us. And let's keep giving them nothing. Give them nothing. And game stonk, baby. Stonks only go up. And that's for sure. Thank you for tuning in, you knuckleheads. I really appreciate you guys, man. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. You know the deal. We're trying to grow this channel so that the community can get bigger and bigger and bigger. The more the merrier. That's the way I see it. Which to me, that's the same thing as with money. The more the merrier. You guys take care. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, knuckleheads. Have a great one. Peace.